Hi, I'm Mae.
And I'm Casper.
And this is Graphite on Tape. This is a podcast about two artists, both lesbians, married to each other. And our first series is Exploring the Artist's Way, a 12-week course by Julia Cameron. Wanted to do the Artist's Way? Now's the time. This is an autonomous peer group. Join us each week on Mondays on our free tier on Patreon and listen along and reflect along with us on how it's been going and what we wish to improve on. Graphite on Tape.
Week 3.
Week 3.
Oh my goodness, we did it.
I'm really excited because until maybe later down the line, I don't think I need to redo our intro, so I can just take that same one.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, eventually I'm going to write down what I said and I'm going to read it again, but have it written down so that I can be more mindful of the way that I'm saying it. But for this week, because this week we've been I've been a little bit out of it.
Oh my god, yeah, this week was hard.
Yeah, this week was really hard.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm just going to use that same intro as last week, and then maybe next week if I'm feeling more myself again and more, motivated and all that jazz, I'll try giving us a even snappier intro.
More snap. Also, big shout out to the new microphone placement so I can look at my beautiful wife and speak correctly into the microphone at the same time.
Yeah, I think this is really going to improve our sound. I think our voices are just being captured at a higher level, and it's going to be clear, it's going to be crisper. I'm really excited. We also, for paid tier patrons, have a new microphone for our camera, so we're hoping that, you can't really see it, it's really tiny.
It's really tiny. She's did down here.
But we're hoping that that's a better sound for you guys too.
Yeah. Because the audio on the video camera is very sad.
Week 3, recovering a sense of power. This week may find you dealing with unaccustomed bursts of energy and sharp peaks of anger, joy, and grief. You are coming into your power as the illusory hold of your previously accepted limits is shaken. You will be asked to consciously experiment with spiritual open-mindedness.
That's actually a pretty good summary of how our week went. I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I started out the week being really angry, if you remember.
I do. I remember going on a walk and you being like, fuck.
I was so upset. I was feeling really down, and I was having grief and anger all in one. Week 2's recording did not come out the way that I wanted it to. It made it really hard to edit it in post. I was feeling really down and out about my skills and my abilities and all of that stuff. And I expressed my anger on a walk where I vented all of my feelings to my wonderful wife, who listened to them with no judgment and gave me all the space I needed, which was really good. And I also wrote about it in my next morning pages, and that helped as well. I also did an additional nighttime notes, if you will.
Yes, I remember.
Just to get some additional thoughts that have been cramming up my brain that day. Sometimes I feel like when I wake up, I have different thoughts that are inundating me than when I go to bed at night. There's thoughts that build up over the day sometimes. So writing in the evening really helped in that case. And this week was really helpful. I didn't do it a bunch, but I did it a few times, and it was really, really helpful.
Yeah. The one really nice thing about the morning pages is that because we've had to do them every day, they've become sort of this neuro pathway of when I'm having a shitty time, a little light goes off and it goes, oh, I can use my pages right now. I can go and I can use this as a tool. And it becomes more than just a morning pages that you have to do every day because you're doing this creative challenge. It is something that actually sits in your tool belt that you know now, oh, when I feel X, Y, Z, I know I can pick up this tool and it is helpful.
100%.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. And that's what I did this week. It was really, really nice.
Yeah.
It also feels less I gotta wake up now, I gotta do this. Morning pages are starting, like you just said, to be a tool, to be something that, it's not even that I'm even looking forward to it, it's just something that I'm gonna do because this is my ritual now.
Yeah, I am a big believer of rituals. I love making everything into a ritual.
Morning pages, I did 7 out of 7.
7 out of 7, yep.
Even though I did 7 out of 7, I did not complete 3 pages every single day. I had 1 or 2 days where I only did 2 or 2.5.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I figured it's been a bad week. I also did my nighttime notes.
You've made up for it for sure.
I made up for it, but also I felt like I rather just do them, even if I knew I wasn't gonna finish them 3 out of 3 because it's better. And I'm learning this as I go along. It's better to do it, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not up to snuff.
Yep. That one's a hard one. It's one of those things that you can like know it in your head, but it's really hard to internalize into your actual day-to-day actions. Like I say it all the time, you know, like, like it's better to do it than to not do it at all. But then every once in a while, I will find myself falling into that exact same trap. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's one thing to like know it in your head and another to like feel it in your bones. You know?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I completely agree. But yeah, I don't think we have so much to share about the morning pages.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the morning pages were other than like it really becoming like a solid tool for us to use and loving every minute of it. The only other thing I noted this morning is like I'm running out of journal space. I have to like go get a new journal.
We got to do that.
Yeah, because I was just like, oh shit, like I'm not going to make it to the end of the year with this journal. It'll be like the first time ever I've needed more than one journal in a year. And that's like that's very cool. I feel really proud about that.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yay! Tiny claps.
Tiny claps.
Tiny claps.
Let's talk tasks.
Let's talk tasks.
So this week, for the first time, there was an additional exercise that was separate from the tasks.
Yes.
I'm kind of fitting it in there with the tasks because it is a task.
Yes.
But let's talk about that one first, and then we can talk about the end of chapter tasks.
Yeah, because it feels like the task format is very pick and choose. This one did not feel very pick and choose. This was like, no, you're gonna do this.
Yeah, you're
before
gonna do
we
this.
even get into the tasks. We're not even gonna talk about the tasks until you've done this.
I liked the task. I did the task.
Yeah.
The exercise, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
I did it. You did it?
I did, yeah.
I did it as part of my morning pages one morning. I feel like it was a really good one. I also didn't like it at the same time, but
That's how you know it's a good one.
yeah, I felt resistant to some of the questions. I found myself like almost censoring myself, and not in the like censor blurty way. I mean more like maybe putting down my second or my third thought instead of my first one, and then going back and erasing it and putting down my first thought while I roll my eyes at myself.
I did too. I found the exact same thing happening.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, where I would like, I'd get my first gut thought and then my brain would be like, nope, not that. Like, and move away from it like instantly. And then I had to stop myself and be like, no, I think Julia wants the first one.
Let's give some context for anyone that's not doing the artist's way yet, or maybe they're not on week 3 yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
For this exercise in the book, there were 20 unfinished phrases, and you have to finish the phrase, and that's the whole exercise. It's pretty straightforward. So some examples were, if I had a perfect childhood, I'd have grown up to be, what makes me feel weird about this recovery is, if I weren't so stingy with my artist, I'd buy them. And essentially you just finish all of those sentences, and there's 20 of them.
Yeah.
Some of them I definitely would have thought of.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah.
Some of them I definitely would not have.
Yeah, I felt the same way. There were some that were like kind of almost just like obvious to me. And others that were just like, ooh, I hadn't really thought about this. I haven't examined this. You know what I mean?
Were there any that stood out to you as, ooh, I haven't thought about this in a while?
Yeah, I think the ones particularly that talked about like if I weren't so stingy with my artist, or like how much money I spend on entertainment. When I read the questions at first, because obviously we're like kind of reading the chapter before we do anything, and I'd read through all the questions. At first when I read over those questions, I was like, oh, these seem kind of unrelated. Obviously they're not unrelated. Julia knows what she's doing. I believe in Julia. But like I wasn't really making a connection on what that would unlock for me until I did the exercise and I wrote it out, and it made me really sad. It made me really sad at the way that I had sort of treated my artist self. Not even like treating poorly, but just deprioritizing that kind of like inner child, because they also ask you a lot about like childhood stuff, you know, like what was your favorite game to play as a child, or like what kinds of things, you know, that kind of stuff. So I felt pretty sad after I did that exercise, because I realized how deprioritized my sort of inner child, particularly my inner child artist, has been. And frankly, I blame capitalism. Yeah. You know, because like work always takes a precedence, because again, if We don't work, we don't have a house, we don't eat. And capitalism has done that to us. And then I get mad. So you know what I mean? You're going through the sads and the mads a lot this week.
100%.
Yeah.
I think I also felt like grief after that exercise because it showed me, not that it's ever too late or you're ever too old to do things, but it showed me how much time has been lost.
Yes, I felt that very keenly as well. I try not to get too down on myself, but I really have had moments during this process where I've uncovered sort of feelings where I've been like, fuck, I have wasted time prioritizing the thoughts and feelings of people who genuinely do not care for my success or who genuinely do not care for my creativity. I have spent so much time sort of like deprioritizing my inner child artist, or even just deprioritizing my art in general. And this is a running problem that I've had forever, you know? And I think this week really, really brought those things to very stark light for me.
Yeah, I think for me it was more grief than discomfort, a bit more feeling sad, and it did translate into me feeling almost like doing things less, to be honest. I have a hard time sometimes going from my feeling to action.
Yeah.
And it was really, really hard to do that this week. I didn't feel motivated. I didn't feel like, wow, look at all these things that I've neglected. Now's the time to move. It was kind of like, I want to retreat.
Yeah, I think this week, like the flavor of the feelings really demanded a lot of processing time in a way that other weeks have not needed, in my opinion, so far.
I totally agree. I needed time to process, which is always like hard when you're doing one of these kinds of courses because you feel like it's stagnating, that you should be moving forward, that you should have something done, that you should whatever, all those shoulds. But sometimes things hit you like a brick wall and you need to just pull down all the bricks before you can get past it.
Yep.
And I think a lot of me feeling stuck and stagnant this week was actually feeling the feelings that I have not felt in a while. And I did towards the end of the week start doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like I've been pulling out my camera a bit more.
Yeah.
I also updated my YouTube and my Instagram handles so that they're ready for when I want to post more and when I have more to post.
Fuck yeah.
So I didn't do nothing. I just felt like I slowed down this week.
Yes.
And I think that that's totally okay. I think that I needed to slow down. There was a lot to process. And, you know, it was peaks and the valleys that Julia warned us about.
She really did. She really did warn us. And I love her for that. Yeah, this week was really hard. And I even ended up like dropping some plans, which is not my favorite thing to do. Because we had made all of these big plans about doing like a studio vlog for my new YouTube channel that does exist with nothing on it. And that felt so shitty to have to like actually revisit and be like, I don't think I can do this right now. Like adding anything that is not making art felt so wrong to me. And I think that's why we had such a hard time. You know, when we were filming, it was like, man, this is not working.
We work together almost every single day, if not every day. The flow has been amazing. We've worked together well for a long time, back when we were friends, back when we were just making the one-off thing together, all these different types of collaborations that we've done. We've worked really well together the entire time.
Yeah.
And that day felt so wrong.
Yeah.
If that had been the first time we had ever worked together, I would be like, I guess we just don't vibe.
It's not even like anything bad happened between us during that working together. Like it was literally just neither of our hearts were in it. Nothing felt real, nothing felt right.
Yeah.
You know?
And it just kind of highlighted that like we are moving really quickly and we need to be more intentional.
Yes, we did also realize that we haven't had a day off in like 15 days.
So we took a day off the next day.
So we took a day off the next day. We're very focused people, and we're also very ambitious people, and we're very creative people, and I think that that makes us work very well together. But I also think the double-edged sword of that is that we'll get ourselves into a place where we haven't taken a day off in 15 days, which is like it's not good for anybody.
No, it really isn't. And that's something that we need to be working on more consciously. And that exercise really helped highlight that.
Yes, 100%. Because, like, particularly talking about, like, what kinds of games do you like to play? What do you like to do for your inner artist child? And I was just like, holy fuck, like, I'm completely deprioritizing this. A big part of that is systemic failure. Not our personal failure.
Yeah, we need to pay rent.
We have to get groceries, like we have to eat. Our animals need to be fed, you know?
Yeah, and we can't get like hung up on them either at the same time because we can't become immobilized by the fact that there's these big systemic things that we can't control. We need to, on our day-to-day, focus on the things that we can control that can help mitigate what we're facing and help find that play and prioritize that play. Because I find I've had some of my lowest times being like, everything's out of my hands. Everything is this big, huge problem that I can't touch. And instead of getting really, trapped in the big shittiness of that, I've found it's helpful to feel those feelings.
Yes.
And then do what you can to act.
Yes.
Whether that's like passing money back and forth, passing food back and forth with your friends, but also the YouTube vlog that we were doing, the studio vlog that we were doing, we could drop it.
Yeah, we really identified that it was not a life-sustaining activity. One thing I love about you, and I love it about us, is that like, I think both of us operate on the fundamental belief that there actually is not a single problem on this earth, systemic or otherwise, that we cannot take sustained action towards solving.
Yeah.
And I think that operating under that assumption and that sort of like inner truth really helps pull us out of the like, oh God, the world is terrible and I can't do anything and I'm just one person. Yeah, you are just one person. But are you one person who can cook food for your neighbor tonight? Are you one person who can
resist the hustle culture? Are you one person that can resist you have to do everything all the time perfectly and be draining yourself of your time and your hours because you're, adding things that don't need to be added to your schedule? Like, and this is something that's different for everyone. But for us as like independent freelancers and gig workers, there is a big pressure to do it all the time.
Yes.
Make sure you're making content on every single platform.
And make sure you're tailoring every single piece of content you make for every specific platform you're on. And at that point, you are a full-time unpaid worker for a fucking tech company.
Yeah.
That's what that is, by the way. You are being exploited. Your labor is being exploited for the profit of social media companies. You heard it here.
And then on the other end, as a listener, as an engager, your data is being tracked and being sold. But so then we came to like, what can we cut out? Is there anything that we can drop?
Yeah.
And it was the addition of some YouTube series. So now if we do YouTube for the time being, it's going to be, I have something that I want to like get out there and I have this idea and I'm going to do it and it's going to be a creative endeavor and it's going to fill my cup.
Yeah.
After that recording, at that attempt at recording your studio vlog, we were like, this is draining us both.
Yeah, we both were so tired after. And I mean, part of that is obviously the logistical, like literally 15 days straight of working.
And not playing. And so what did we do on our day off?
Oh my God, we played The Sims.
We played The Sims. We also went for a really nice walk.
Yeah, we did.
We did what we could with a day off where we realized we hadn't rested or played in a while. And that's what we focused on. And I don't think that I would have played and taken that day off if it had not been for this chapter.
I agree. Did you do any of the other exercises?
I didn't do any of my other tasks. Did you?
Yes, I did. I did one other task. So one of the tasks was about describing your childhood bedroom. One of the cool things about being an artist, and she's like, oh, if you draw, you should draw your childhood bedroom. And so I drew both of my childhood bedrooms in the old farmhouse that I grew up in. And what Julia really asked us to focus on were some of our favorite things about those childhood spaces. And for mine, I identified two things. Well, one thing that kind of followed from one bedroom, I had these like starlights in my first childhood bedroom, and then I had some old kind of broken but old Christmas lights. My second bedroom was in like a little loft space, so I had wrapped this old Christmas light down the ladder, and it used to just like pulse sort of like blue and purple and like different colors. And I realized that I don't have that in our bedroom currently. And one of the things that it said is like, do you have things like that in your like from your childhood bedroom in your bedroom now? And the answer was a resounding no, I do not. So this is me saying that we need to get some cool twinkly lights for the bedroom.
Of course, my love. Yes, a number one priority for next month's budget.
Yes, hells yeah.
More important than rent and food. I just. You do not have to be starving when you're a broke artist, and that is a whole other conversation.
That is a whole other conversation.
But we're figuring it out.
We are figuring it out. So yeah, I found that to be a really affirming exercise. The funny thing is like the way that Julia has you sort of like construct this inner artist child, I like by the end of the week, I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing child abuse. I am a neglectful parent. This week was a big emotional roller coaster, and I think the outcome of particularly the exercises was very much just like, ooh, you have brought attention to some stuff that I have not been looking at and that I need to prioritize. And I also ended up connecting that, being like, oh, no wonder I can never fucking draw. And no wonder I can never prioritize my own art practice. I'm literally deprioritizing everything that makes my inner artist happy. And how can you deprioritize and neglect somebody and then be like, jump through this hoop?
That's a really good point.
My inner child is like, I'm hungry. Like, I'm not jumping through no hoops. What are you talking about?
That's a connection that I hadn't even fully made. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I think that this week I was feeling really down on myself because I didn't do any of the tasks. I didn't do all my morning pages with the whole 3 pages. I didn't do my artist date this week.
Me neither. We did both miss the artist date.
Yeah, so I've been kind of down on myself because I feel like I haven't worked the week. I think, though, now that you've put that in context, the fact that I've been doing things that child me loved, the kinds of games that we've been playing, the walks I've been going on, the food I've been eating, and maybe that's just what I needed this week, and it's going to help. You know, I've been feeling more creative in the very end of it. So maybe that means that I'm finding my way back and nurturing that child me, which will help me create.
Yeah, I ended up moving a sketchbook onto the coffee table, and every time we have sat down to watch TV at the end of the day, I've just been doodling nothing, basically, in this little sketchbook that I have, and it has been so nice.
I love that.
Feels very like, oh yeah, I can literally just draw. I don't have to think about anything else. I can just draw while I watch TV.
It's been really nice to watch you do that.
Thank you. It's been really nice to do.
Well, it might be a shorter episode, folks, or maybe Mae used their editing wiles to make it that same just under 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, I think you've got this.
Because I think we're kind of at the end there.
Yeah, so I think now it's time to get into the check-in.
There are 4 check-in questions this week. There's usually only 3, right?
Yeah, usually 3.
Okay, well, 4 this week, everyone.
Ooh.
As always, we love to hear from you. Please, 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 please write on our free tier on Patreon to join the conversation.
It's so good. You're so good. Okay, read the check-in questions.
Number 1, how many days this week did you do your morning pages? How was the experience for you? If you skipped a day, why did you skip it? Number 2, did you do your artist date this week? What did you do? How did it feel? 3, did you experience any synchronicity this week? What was it? 4, were there any issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? Describe them.
please come hang out with us. Please do the questions with us. And do not worry if you are not doing the Artist Way at the same time as us. If you're just starting week 1 now, go back to week 1 and answer the check-in questions on week 1's podcast. And we will be there. And we will be there to support you and be like, fuck yeah, and talk with you about it.
I will personally be answering check-in question number 3 because I did experience some synchronicity this week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? It has been a really nice day. I love this. But now it's time for us to get to the rest of our day and for you to get to the rest of your day. So I hope you've had a wonderful time.
We love you so much. We'll see you next Monday.
See you next week.
Bye.